Right? He has to remind us, to remind ourselves about him and his relationship with us.
Yeah.
He has to remind us to remember things he's done.
Yeah.
He has to remind us to remember him. But when you're a humanoid, that's pretty much what happened. We lose track of that sometimes.
Yeah.
We done got through a hurricane, right? And then a year or two later, another a typhoon comes, and you forgot that you done passed through a storm before. And the only reason you passed through the storm was because of your God. That's the only reason why you got through. The first half of the storm, you suffered because you tried to do it your way. That's all right. But we live right now, right?
Once you tell me to go, I'm gonna put it on podcast.
Well, you go ahead and start now. Ain't gonna waste no more time. But as we always say, Shabbat Shalom to all the family, all of those that were able to make it to the house of the Most High today. We thank you. May the Most High bless you and keep you. To those who watch or might watch, thank you for watching. Thank you for just not wasting time. Okay, anytime we can get something that is divine from Yah. You know, something I was thinking about when I was sitting there in the back is that, you know, when we transition and start our own, working in our own part of the vineyard, or in the portion of the vineyard He wanted us to work, all right? And then, you know, you start preaching and teaching more, right? And you go from one scenario where you might not be preaching but once, twice, 3 times, you know. Now it's every Shabbat is Bible studies, is, you know, extra things. Now is people calling, might need counseling, this, you know, and the human mind, you can't hold all that, right? So you're gonna need something divine. You're gonna need Yah to put the right thing in your mouth for you to say for whatever that people need. And you never know what people, and it just still amazes me that you never know what people need, but Yah does. Yeah. And you just being a vessel. You just being there. Okay? You just being there. And have mercy. But as we always say, blessed are the children of Israel who have been scattered abroad. Peace, love, blessings unto you. As Shaul said, I ain't said, I'm trying to put on me. Shaul said, to Yahudim first, then to the Gentiles, then to the nations. This word is for you. Okay, we ain't gonna leave nobody out. To those that are broken, those are broken in spirit and heart. This word especially for you. Okay, those that are at the end of their rope. All right, and they think it ain't worth living no more. This word is for you. All right, what the Yahshua said, He didn't come for those who are righteous. He came for those who are sick, those who needed repentance, those who, you know, they don't have any hope. Okay, you can't threaten me with no hell or no jail, because my life is I might as well be in jail, or my life would be better if I was in jail. But my life is already hell. You can't threaten me with no kind of hell, because I'm already living. I'm living my nightmare right now. That's what the power of God. That's what the gospel's for, to pull people out, to show them. It's the power of the word to make the dark realm leave. So this word is for you. Here we are today, another beautiful, blessed Shabbat. Today our message, our title is the Elohim of Israel. The Elohim of Israel, the God of Israel, a rock of reinforcement. A couple weeks ago, we talked about being a servant. Right? I am a servant. We had to make some things clear. Right? We had to understand that, no, you know what? You ain't worthy. You're not worthy. You know, messed up, the more hair you got on your head. You are not worthy. But the one who called you is worthy. We combed through the scriptures and made that clear, right? The one who called, he is the one who's worthy.
The only one.
And last week, once we recognize that you're a servant, get to work. Can't make any excuses, right? You got to execute. The divine realm, the heavenly realm, they're not trying to report what Jeremy could not do, what he did not want to do, what he felt like he was not able to do. What did he do? It's real simple. What did she do? What did he do?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't do it, then the opposite is, or I'm sorry, if you did do something, the opposite is where he or she did not do it. We don't have that luxury. We ain't got no more credit left. Credit card stuff's a scam. Ain't nothing valuable. Ain't no real money. They done flip that over to these scriptures and make it seem like that your grace is credit. Just do whatever you want to do. You got credit. Go to church here a little bit, knock off some of that little bit of debt, and you keep on swiping that card. We ain't got no credit. He said, I ain't getting up on that cross. I ain't getting up on that stake no more. I'm not doing it again. And then what the book say, he will not be put out to open shame again. He said, I'm not doing it again. So I done paid that. I paid that tab. You ain't on credit. You work for me now. You work for me. You've been hired. And you know what happens when you get hired? You get fired. You get hired, and then you get fired. And it's real simple. And I tell you what, that's one job I'm not trying to get a pink slip to. Be in the middle of a dream, and all of a sudden y'all sure walk in and got a pink slip at my door. That's not what I want to see. That ain't what none of us should want to see. So once we understand that we are servants, once we have a understanding that Yah expects the execution, not the excuses, now we have to remember that the Elohim of Israel is a rock of reinforcement.
Yeah.
He's your rock.
Amen.
He's your rock.
Amen.
Hard rock, tough rock, frontline rock, get behind me rock. Put Rocky Balboa to shame. All the Rocky movies, he put them all to shame. 1 through 6 or 7, how many of it is? He put all of them to shame. But anyway, so we want to look at rock here. Rock is sur. Sur. Okay? And a lot of times we'll see rock, it is as a masculine noun. Okay? All right? Rock is rock, cliff. Excuse my spelling, it was late night. Rock, cliff, pebble. Most importantly, refuge.
Amen.
Got that highlighted for you. Refuge. That your rock is your refuge.
Yes.
And if your rock is in front of you, then you are, as the kids would say, you super safe. You're beyond safe. Now, the child root, for those that can read this, the child root for sur, for rock, is also sur. So sometimes we'll have some words in Hebrew where the noun and the child root or the verb are the same. Why? I don't know. I didn't write it. I didn't come up with it. But let me explain to you. So when we look at the action or the child root of this word, sur, it means to bind, besiege, straighten, and confine. So the action of the rock is to bind, to besiege, straighten, confine. See, it's hard to be crooked. It's hard to be shiesty. It's hard to be janky. And the rock is your refuge. Because it's in the rock's nature to straighten you out. I'm going to say it again. It's hard to be crooked. It's hard to be janky, shiesty, swindling, hustling, dealing, pimping, smooth talking, woofing. It's hard to do that when the rock is your refuge, because the rock in its nature is to straighten out. Better than iron now. You got to plug in iron. You got to wait for it to get hot. And if you like me, done drop some, then they ain't about nothing. Got to pour water in them. Got to spray some starch. But see, the rock will straighten you out.
Amen.
So the action of the rock is to bind, to besiege, straighten, confine. We wanted to go over that before we get into some of these verses. So in your mind, when you see the writers talking about the rock
Yes, sir.
of my salvation,
Hallelujah.
you understand that the rock binds, it besieges, like a visualize an army coming in and taking over. Straightening things out. A lot of stuff in our life ain't straight. That's why you got to have a rock. Rock will straighten out the spiritual. He'll straighten out the physical. He'll straighten out the mental. You won't believe this. He'll straighten out your emotional. He'll straighten out all of it. But that's why Yahshua said, look, Yahshua, I'm a gentleman now. I say at the door. I'm just going to knock. I ain't going to bang on your door. I ain't the police. I ain't banging on your door. I ain't DEA, ATF. All them off work right now. Government be shame themselves. But anyway, folks working for free. Anyway, he said, I stand at the door. I just knock. I knock. You got to get up. You got to let me in. You come in. You let me in. I'm going to come in. I'm going to sup with you. Not just me, but me and my Father. He said he a gentleman. I learned that in Sunday church. That's why you got to chew the meat and spit out the bone. Chew the meat, spit out the bone. I learned that a long time ago. He ain't gonna force on nothing. But I know this: when chaos start, don't start screaming his name. I bet they were shouting every God they could when them waters bust loose during the flood. They went through every list. So and so God, who know a God them again. And went through naming every God. Don't be trying to holler at me now. You weren't trying to. You didn't let me. I knocked at your door. Noah told some people. We know at least 3 he told. We know at least 3. He knocked at the door. They said, no, I don't want that plate. Anyway, I got off topic. All right, so it was praise Yah. It was hey, Yah good though. Now, so Zur, I'm gonna look at something here. Zur up top is our modern Hebrew, what we study. The middle is our Paleo or our middle period Hebrew. And then the last is what my wife does a lot. If you look on some of the walls, the pictographs, the old. Okay. Now with the bottom one, the old one, Zadi is like a person laying on their side. He's got the circle like their head, and they're laying on the side, their knees bent. They're just laying like they're laying on their side. Okay, you won't believe this, but Ezekiel had to lay on his side. Sometimes y'all make us lay on our side. You just gotta lay there. So you have an image of someone laying there. Then the vav, then we talk about this in Hebrew class. What do you say about the vav today? Is the vav or the wah is a what? Connector. It means and. Conjunction, and. So we have the vav or the wah in the middle, and it's connecting the one on the ground, on the side. It's that next one, like a tent peg, is connecting the one that's laying on the side to somebody. But the person that it is connecting them to ain't even looking at. It's connecting them to someone who has turned the other way. So I'm on my side. There's a connector to this head. But the head is turned this way. In the front. In the lead. I'm following this direction. He got the vision. He leading the way. He clearing out the path. And I'm following him. Why ain't the little man in front of him? Not supposed to be out of place. There was a wrestler called The Rock. He said, know your role. When I was growing up, Rock said, know your role and shut your mouth. That's what The Rock used to say when I was growing up. Know your role and shut your mouth. So we have a picture of The Rock in our old pictograph Hebrew of a man on his side, being connected to the back of someone's head. Can't see his face. It's the back of someone's head. Can't see his face. Exodus 33 and 18. see what the scripture, see what the word of the Most High Yah tells us. Say, Yah, here, all-time artist now. I don't care about your Michelangelo. I don't care about your Leonardo. Or your Donatello. Or your Raphael. I don't care. I don't care. Yah paint perfect pictures. Exodus 33. There had been in the 80s, baby, understand that, Kelly. Exodus 33 and 18. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. Show me thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yah before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, thou cannot see my face. Thou cannot see my face. Thou cannot see my face. Look at the screen here. The little man laying on the side is connected to the back. You can't see my face. You see that now? Now this Zur means what now? Rock. So the real rock, I'm in the front. You can't see my face. Thou cannot see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me that thou shalt stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass while my glory passes by, that I will put thee in the cliff of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by, and I will take away mine hand. So once the glory and the power and the majesty and the fire and the everything of the face comes by, I will take my hand off your eyes. And the book says, thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. So when we look at the word rock, Zur, in Hebrew, in the pictograph, we get a picture of a man on his side being connected to the back of the head, not the front of the head. You can't see my face. Wherever I go, you got to follow after me. You can't jump out in front of me. This ain't no go-kart race. We racing. You in your car trying to pass me on the last lap. Know your role. And shut your mouth. Thank you. Might start making that a new saying.
You're right.
I like that. And you see who came up with it. She said it. She filled it up. So now when I start saying it, I blame her. So Zur, when we look at the pictograph, the last letter is the beginning. The last letter is the beginning. You won't believe this. Our great teacher, the great Messiah, he says, man, let's just turn to it. Turn to Revelation quickly. Revelation 1. Popped in my head. Revelation 1 and 17. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. You know why? Because he saw his face. No man shall see me and live. He fell down like a dead man. And he laid his right hand upon me. The connector. He had to get him up, saying unto me, fear not, I am the first and I am the last. And you have the last letter in this word rock being the head. When we ain't going to go over, but the last couple weeks we've been talking about the body. And who the head of the body? And that's the same head. When we start getting that stomach ache, because there's some lukewarm stuff in my system, you don't believe what I'm going to do. I'm going to spew you out my mouth. Because the mouth is attached to the head. Okay. All right, let's get back on track. So we see when the rock is in front of us, we can look at the rock as, or the back of the head, the back of his head are being in front. So we have the little man, we have the connect, we have the back of his head. And that should give us a visual of that's our shield. So now we can see why the rock is also like a shield. Because the rock's in front of you. Okay, is that making sense? The rock is in front of you. If you're out in front of the rock, then how can you become protected of the shots of the adversaries? You're in what they call that harm's way. All right, so we get a picture. So the rock is like a shield. Okay, now when we look at that and when we think about the shield being out in front, right? This is part of our spiritual armor. Okay. Now I'm gonna need somebody to give me Genesis 15, 2 through 16. Somebody read that for me, because my Rita. If I say Rita, Rita ain't here today. With peace and love to the brother. Safe travels back. But in Genesis 15 and 1, we said that the word came of the Lord. The word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision. It came to me. He said, "Fear not, Abram, thy shield, and thy exceeding great reward." He said, "Fear not, I am thy shield." The word came to him in a vision. Think about that. The word came to him in a vision. What did he see? That the word came in a vision. I thought you hear the word. But what you won't believe is when you get to Yochanan and them brothers, they let us know. No, the word became flesh. The word is and was. But that ain't for today. That ain't for today. That's just FYI. Fear not, Abram, I am thy great shield and thy exceeding great reward. Somebody go ahead and read that 2 through 16, please. Genesis 15. Whoever got.
And Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold to me, thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto them, So shall thou see be. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
Okay, stop right there. It's 6. I don't know why I said 16. And he believed in Yah, and he counted it to him for righteousness. So we have to believe the word. We have less excuse in our time because the word was made flesh. That's why Abraham is called a father or a great father of faith. The word came in a vision. So when we understand it this now, that he says, I am thy shield. The shield is in front. The rock is in front. The pictograph shows us that I'm being connected to the back of someone's head because he must be in front of me. Now this makes sense when the children of Israel, when the nation is established, why this got to be in the front. You want to go fight? You want to go do something? You want to go across the Jordan? You want to go knock down the walls of Jericho? I'm the rock. I go first. I go first. I caused so much headache. They took the ark and put me in the temple of Dagon. I made them sick. So they got to get this out of here. Let's look at Isaiah now 51. Isaiah 51. Isaiah 51 will be in verse 1. Hallelujah, you never get there. Hallelujah. All right, Isaiah 51 and 1, and it reads, Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Lord, ye that seek the Lord. Hearken unto me, ye that follow. Remember the man on the side being connected to the back of someone's head. That ye seek the Lord. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit where ye are digged. That got a lot more meaning to it now, don't it? Look unto Abraham, your father. Because remember, he told Abraham, I am your shield. He said, I'm going before you. I'm going before you. like a shield. I'm this great rock. This is the rock. When I'm not jumping the gun. Look at Abraham, your father, and unto Sarah that bare you, for I called him alone and blessed him and increased him. So if he called Abraham, that means he would have called you. You didn't get here just by happenstance. You didn't all of a sudden wake up like you don't smell some. The best part of waking up. Some gossip. I got some coffee going. You just woke up and just say, "Yeah, I want to." That's not how it happened. Someone pulled you. Someone tugged on you.
Hallelujah.
For the Lord shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places and will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me. Now think about that. The beginning of this chapter said you got to be following after him, that he in front of you. And he said that as you are behind me, then this power, this resilient, just powerful power just says the law comes forth from me. It ain't going backwards. It's still going ahead. Do you see your Messiah now? There's another section in Isaiah. We talked about he's going to magnify the Torah. Make it honorable. Now we have in this part, he says, so he let you know, you behind me, follow me. Yes. I am the power and something's coming out from me going forward.
Make it away.
I lost my place. 4. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation, for the law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to the rest for a light of the people. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth. See why the rock is so important, and why you need the rock, the Elohim of Israel. That's a rock. That's a rock of your defense. My salvation is gone forth, and mine arm shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and mine arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke. That's an interesting verse right there. It says, lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. So when we talk about the things about the Elohim and the things that these writers had an understanding of the bad guy angels, and that it is so serious business about Yah. Yeah, you're an Israelite. Got it. Check. Get yourself together. Repent and be saved. There's bigger fish to fry. Yes. And if you are tap dancing on the wrong side, your behind is cooked. Because there's bigger things going. There's a bigger picture. Yes, so lift your eyes up to heaven and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my Torah. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revilings, for the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool, but my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation. Awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake as in the ancient days. Days like when he said, you know what? I'm going to go down there and see what's going on. I heard you knuckleheads down here. They're trying to come up here and build something and knock on my front door. They better not. I'm going to go see for myself. And when he went down there, he messed them up. Confounding land. He ain't even put a hand on him. It just showed how much mercy he got. He could have. I could have killed you then. I ain't going to kill you. I'm going to mess up your language. Now y'all just, now you got to leave off and separate. Then we had another time where the cry of his people was so loud. And he remembered the promise that he gave to Abraham, he remembered. He said, you know what? It's time I go visit my people. Where's my servant Moshe? The angels report, Master, he's fled from Pharaoh, and he's been under the tutelage in Midian. What is he doing? He know. But the messenger's got to work too. What is he doing? He's a shepherd. Good. Does he love the sheep? He's in a mountain right now looking for one. He's looking for one. Perfect timing. And then the bush was burning. But it wasn't burning. And something in Moshe's heart said, what is that?
It's the Lord.
And we know the rest how it goes. The people in whose heart is my law. We read that already. Let's scroll down to verse 9. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake as in the ancient days and the generations of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? We're like, man, we know you got hands. We know you put them paws on them. Art thou not it which hath dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, and hath made the depths of the sea a way for a ransom to pass over? So the prophets are calling for the power, the authority, the aggression, the violence, the domination of the elements of earth to please intervene for our behalf. Because I said, this is what he's asking. He said, aren't you not him? So when things get bad, we see how we got to pray. When things get bad, we have to call him by the old time, the days of ancient, the one who dried up waters, the one who makes the land black, the one who makes the sun stand still, him, the one that caused the dead to rise. That's how. So just put that. You got to look. I'll be like Jacob. You hear something, put it in the back of your mind. Got to put it in the back of your mind. There's gonna come a day we will have to pray like that, because we ain't have no other hope.
Amen.
Your government, we see now, will let you down.
Amen.
It ain't got nothing to do with some of us.
No.
Right.
It's got everything to do about you. Just keep that in mind. It ain't got nothing to do about you, but it's got something to do about you. One. Therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy and sorrow, and mourning shall flee away. I, even I, am he that comforteth you.
Yes.
Who art thou that thou shouldst be afraid of man that shall die, and the son of man which shall be made of grass? Got to remind us, remember? No, you got to remind us, remember?
Yeah.
And forgettest the Lord thy maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where's the fury of the oppressor? The captive exile hastened, that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. But I am the Lord thy God, that divided the sea, whose waves roared. Yah, Zebaoth, the Lord of hosts is his name. I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hands, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundation of the earth, and say to Zion, thou art my people. We'll stop right there. But remember where we started now. It said about, hey, remember of the rock from whence you were hewn. That's how this whole little section started. Remember of the rock from whence you were hewn. Okay? Can somebody give me Luke 20 and 18? And somebody give me Isaiah 28 and 16. Somebody give me Luke 20 and 18. And then Isaiah 28 and 16.
I got Isaiah.
What's the other one?
20 and 18 of Luke. Read up. Just mean that we love you, brother.
I got Luke 20:18. Luke 20 and 18. Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whom it falls, it will grind him to powder.
Grind the what?
Powder.
Powder. See why? That's why we got to be careful about this rock now. You got folks these days playing around with the rock. Taking them for granted. Using them. Using them to get as many women as they want. Using them to get money in their back pocket, in their front pocket, in their side pocket, in their extra bed of money up under their blanket and all that stuff. And the book tells us that, hey, that rock, it'll grind you to powder. It'll grind you to powder now. Isaiah?
Isaiah 28:16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
So you hear it, no matter in your New Testament or your Old Testament. You need the rock, but don't play with that rock. All right? Because that's, when I was growing up, they used to be saying, don't be playing church. Don't be playing with the rock now. Don't be playing with the rock. I got to put the screen for you. We're in Psalm 62, 1 through 6. I got to put it for you. Psalm 62. So think about what we've been listening about the rock. Okay. Truly my soul waiteth upon God. From him cometh my salvation. My soul waits upon Elohim. And from this Elohim cometh my Yeshua. He only is my rock and my salvation. This becomes personal. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will you imagine mischief against a man? You shall be slain, all of you. As a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fist. So now we have the writer explaining to us about the enemies of those who are protected by the rock, and how man is plotting and scheming against the people of the rock. So that means if it was going on in David's time, that means in 2019, there are people plotting and scheming against the people of the rock. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. That's why you see things of God removed everywhere. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. Ain't talking about me, because I ain't excellent. And you know, ain't talking about y'all neither. Y'all ain't excellent neither. Somebody, well, you know, we know you, brother. You know, ain't none of us excellent. No. Anybody watching, you're not excellent, but we know who is of his excellency. And they're consulting to try to take him down. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. My soul, wait thou only upon Elohim. There's going to be some situations we cannot wait on your government. There is one who comes with the government on his shoulders. Yeah. That's who you're waiting on. You give respect. What do you say? Give the things in the season, the things in season. The things unto God, the things unto God. When the government is on a whole nother tip, it is what it is. For my expectations from him, he only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. He said it twice. The power. So the rock is salvation for you, and the rock is a defender for you. But you cannot be moved. Don't be moved. Why? Because you're protected by the rock. Yeah. So we go back to things of the hedge of protection. Don't come out of that. Don't come out of that. Stay where you're supposed to be. In God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. Trust in him at all times. At all times and all things. Don't block him out. Don't block him out. Because you won't be balanced in your life. You will not be balanced. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that you have your paws, your hands into, he needs to be a part of. Trust him at all times. Yeah. That means in all things. Yeah. All things are possible through Christ. You got to have him in all things. Trusting him in all things, you people pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Surely men of low degree are vanity. Men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression. Become not vain in robbery. When people hustling and scheming and getting over, don't get up in all that. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. God has spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto Elohim. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy. For thou renderest to every man according to his work. So we'll look at something in that particular Psalm 62 and 2. He only is my rock and my salvation, my high tower. I shall not be greatly moved. What is he? Ooh. Something suspicious there. Something suspicious. It's like, let's investigate. I shall not be greatly moved. Lo amot rabah. I got highlighted in green down there for you. Shall not be greatly moved. What does that mean? Molt. The child root. The child root word. It means to shake, totter, turn aside, most importantly, waver. Waver. In other words, not as much physically turning, but your mind. Your mind.
Between two opinions.
Your mind.
Winds of doctrine.
All the things that David talked about, all the heart, they're trying to kill me. The rock is your defense. The rock is my salvation. I shall not be moved. Molt. I will not waver. Look, I'm not changing my mind. Sickness,
Got my mind made up.
family, finances, ridicule, pain, suffering, untreatment, poverty, hate. I will not move. My mind will not change. Look at SpongeBob. SpongeBob said, you change your mind like a girl changed clothes. That's what's wrong with believers today. I tell you what's even worse. That's what's wrong with people on our side, on this Shabbat side, on this Hebrew side. Can't keep their mind made up. The hottest new thing is like the what's that show, the Apollo? Remember, you on the stage, and if you messing up, the clown come out there with that thing with that long hook and that's how people are. People mind, they might as well be on the stage at Apollo. Folks are throwing that hook and pulling them all kind of ways. They follow y'all this way, then they follow y'all that way, then they say y'all this way, then you do stuff y'all that way. Well, now I do this way. Like, don't waver. Be firm in what you believe. Quit being an open door.
One door.
Don't be an open door. Because if you open door, everybody get a turn. Every idea get a turn with you. Now I could have added the other part, but I left that. I kept PG. But everybody get a turn. Don't be no open door now. Don't let your somebody keep your door locked. That's how we know what a thief and a robber is. Because a thief and a robber, he ain't gonna come to the front door. He gonna try to come in some other kind of way. At least that's what the book tells us. He gonna try to come in some other kind of way. Sometimes keep your front door locked. Hebrews now. Whereof the Holy Ghost also was a witness to us, for after that he had said before, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, that the Lord, I will put my laws in their hearts. Didn't we just read that?
Yes, sir.
When in Isaiah, 51st chapter. He was going to put the law. He said those that, he talked about all the destruction, but he said those that got the law in their hearts, fear not. And in their minds will I write them. So this is going to help you keep your mind, this is going to help you keep your mind straight. Bouncing all over the place like a tennis ball or something. You got two great tennis players, just that ball bouncing back and forth. Or like a dog watching somebody play ping pong. That dog here is going just like this. Watching the ball go back and forth. That's how some folks with their mind be. They just can't be, they just all over the place. So y'all like, I'm gonna write my personal things on your mind. They help keep you stable. And their sins and their iniquities I will remember no more. Now, where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin. Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter in by the blood of Yahshua, by a new and living way that was brought up today, which he have consecrated for us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh. So you can get there in this body that has to be reminded to remember him. And having a high priest over the house of Elohim, let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience. So it gets personal. Once again, he's a perfect gentleman now. You got to let him in. He the best heart doctor of all time. If you let him in. Because if he come in, he'll address the issues of your heart.
Yeah.
Wash the inside.
Amen.
That help you with your conscience.
Thank you.
Our bodies washed with pure water. Because he gonna wash his bride with the water of the word. Verse 23, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering.
Amen.
I want to go through all the other verses just to get to this point right here. Without wavering. The purpose of the rock being in front of you is so that you will not waver. That you're not all over the place. That you are protected. That you don't waver. For he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke and to love and to do good works. So while I'm protecting you, while I'm a refuge for you, while I am in front of you, and while you are being stable and solid in the spirit and the word, make sure you provoke love unto others. Encourage them to do good works. Encourage them to be the servant that they're supposed to be. Encourage them not to accept anything less than their best.
Amen.
That is your job. Why? Because the rock is in front of you. The shield is there. There are shots fired at you. Yes. You have enemies. Yes. They want you dead. Yes. But the rock is a defense. It's a salvation. It's a strong place.
Yes, sir.
And while you're protected, don't waver. Provoke others to be the best in Mashiach. It's your job. You've been hired. The last thing you want is, who the hell you in a dream saying you're fired? Because you're hired. Yeah. Sometimes, look, you ain't impressed y'all with your resume. You know, I came out the womb, I was singing. Sang. I came out the womb singing. I got a resume. That's how they look at you. Y'all not impressed with your resume. If you call on him, somebody give me, Kelly, John 6:44 right quick. If he called you, then he put something in you. And 9 times out of 10, the things that you think that is your strength for the kingdom, he don't want it. I don't want you to work in the vineyard like that. It's when you're weak, is when he's strong. It's when you're weak. But I can sing. Hush your mouth. You ain't singing nothing. You ain't singing nothing. The things that we think is not going to be what it is. You got John 6:44?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
John 6:44. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him. And I will raise him up at the last day.
He said no one, right?
No one.
And no one probably means no one.
Correct.
I agree.
So that means that when you have been called, or when you are in position of being in the body of Christ, there's something, he already put something already in you. It's your job to work that part of the field with what he gave, the tools he gave you to work with. That's your job. No, it might have took Moshe 80 years, 40 years in Egypt, in Pharaoh's house, 40 years, but you might not have that time. So one of the things I understand now, somebody told me years ago, you don't know how much time we got. You got to get it quick. Shaking means we got to get it quick. Okay, I got it. Everything all good. But it's important. It's important because if you're slack on your job, there's someone behind you. And it's hard to walk on the trail and you ain't made a way for them. But some of y'all, I know some of y'all out here country. You know how it is when you trails in the woods. As long as you keep walking on that trail ain't going nowhere. When you start walking on that trail, grass and sticker browse and stuff cover up the trail. Now you don't know where to go. But as long as people are walking on that trail, that narrow path, so it's visible, so that we may see. Dabarim 32. Y'all know what that means, don't you? There we go. Quick little quiz. Good job. Got 100 for today. Deuteronomy 32. Be in verse 1. Give ear, all ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord. Ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock. His work is perfect. All his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father, that he hath brought thee? He has not made thee and established thee. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, he will show thee. Thy elders, they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Elohim, it should be sons of God. Some of yours translation might have it. It might say sons of Adam. We'll talk about this during the feast, okay, about the angels. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. The land of Canaan was the territory reserved for the people of Jacob, as he told Abraham, and that this land, this geographical, physical land, is Yah's portion. So other places are divided to other gods. That's why Midian or Jethro say something, man, this God is the true God of all of the gods. Because Yah gave permission for the angels to have different portions of land. Just cutting up property and let them have it. But Israel, that's his. Okay, and that's verified in the New Testament, specifically with Mashiach when he encounters demonic or evil forces. It's very, but that's not for today. Verse 10. He found him in a desert land and in a waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him. There was no strange Elohim with him. He made him lie on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock. Right? I think we were told in Shaul talks about that that water that they had, that spiritual water, that spiritual rock was who? Christ. Butter of kine and milk of sheep, fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape, but Jeshurun waxed fat. And Kit, thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick. Look, we can't get fat. We can't get there. We can't get lazy and complacent in Mashiach where we are. That's what it means. They got complacent. It's like our cat. He's fat. He's gotten fat. You put him outside and go hunt. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations, provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to the devils, and to gods whom they knew not, and to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers fear not. Of the rock that begat thee, of the rock that begat thee. That sounds familiar, don't it? Mm-hmm. Where we read that at? It was Isaiah 51:1. Of the rock from whence you are hewn. See how the word connects. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten God that formed thee. So Deuteronomy 32:17 and 18 got up here with a board for you. They sacrificed, verse 18, particularly of the rock. So we know who the rock is, right? That begat thee. That begat thee. Somebody read me Mark 15:46. We already just said Isaiah 51:1.
Mark
15:46. Both like Mark. You're like, man, that's the oldest one. That's the oldest one.
Mark 15 and
46.
46.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then he brought fine linen, took him down, and wrapped him in the linen. And he laid him in a tomb which had been hewn out of the rock.
Which had been what?
Hewn out of the rock.
Which had been what?
Hewn out of the rock. And rolled a stone against the door of the tomb.
He laid him in the sepulchre, which was what?
Hewn out of the rock.
And then we have on the screen for Deuteronomy 32 and 18 of the rock that begat thee. I mean, the word just, I don't know what to say. That's why the word's good. I heard somebody bring up a very good point, and it tells us that Yahshua was laid in a tomb that had never been used before. And the brother brought up a great point. He said, it just proves that Miriam had not known a man. Because Yahshua came into this world through a womb that had not had any seed, any earthly seed put into it. Then when he left, he got laid in a tomb that no man had been laid in. As he came, so he went. The depths of Yah. But that ain't the point for today. I said, that's good. I got to share that. That's good. That's good. All the word good.
Amen.
So, the mountain of Yehovah, or Yahweh, the mountain of Yahweh. Let's turn to Micah 4 really quick. About to wrap this up. If somebody give me Daniel 2.
I'll get Daniel too. What?
Daniel 2 and 44 and 45. And everybody else would turn to Micah 4th chapter. But in Daniel 2 and 44 and 45, Ms. Bev got that. All right, and Micah 4, 1 through 2, this is what it reads. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the hilltops of the mountains. It shall be exalted above the hills, and all the people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of the God of Jacob, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and he will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Then we read earlier in the passage about us being behind him and his righteousness and so on and so forth. And then while he's in front of us, that the law's going forth. That was in Isaiah. And then we get Micah saying kind of the same thing. But where are we at? We're at the mountain. Mountain. Mountain is made of what? Rock. Stone. Rock.
Micah 4 what?
That was Micah 4, 1 through 2. Okay, and then can we get Daniel 2 now?
Okay, Daniel 2, 44 and 45.
Mm-hmm.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
The stone was cut out of what?
Out of the mountain.
Out of the what?
Out of the mountain.
Okay.
Without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure.
So Micah tells us about the mountain of Yah and its power and then the law goes forth from it. We hear another prophet talking about his righteousness and this being in the front and then coming forth. And then, David is talking about, my Elohim, and from him is my salvation. We see the correlation here. So then we get in Daniel, and he says that a piece of the mountain will destroy all these kingdoms. The piece of the mountain. So you know what that sounds like, right? It's a chip off the old block. That Yahshua is a chip off the old block. That we have this great supreme mountain, this house, and everybody flows to it. The law comes forth. It is the center point. It is like the throne of Yah. Yahshua goes out forth, conquering and proclaiming. Crazy king has a dream. He sees a a piece of a mountain, a stone cut from a mountain from on high, thrown down, break everything. He jumped out of his sleep. So y'all sure chip off the old block. You won't believe this. There's a certain apostle named Cephas. And in his writings, he told you that you are lively stones. So you're supposed to be a rock too for somebody. You're supposed to see, that's why we got to be working. That's why we can't be, you got to be a great teammate, can't be selfish. He's like, hey, I'm going to protect you. Y'all are the rocks, like, I'm going to protect you, but you got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
But there's some other little sheep behind you. And when you ain't on your job, when you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, when the children of Israel come out of Egypt, there's a whole bunch of them. Amalek, slick. They waited. All the ones that's in the rush, the young ones, the full of energy, they're in the front. They're in the front. But the old, the feeble, the women in the back, we're going to get them. So now you're a lively stone. So now you got to protect. That's what it means to be a rock. Because you're a chip off the old block. We're supposed to be following Yahshua. Yahshua following his father. But see, that's why you have to be a servant. You got to care. If you don't care about nobody, if your prayer is always about you and how you need and what you want, sometimes you got to change your prayer.
Amen.
You have to change your prayer. We just read in Hebrews, Yahshua is the great high priest in heaven. What else do I got to do for you? Get up off your knees. Put in the work. You have a defender, a protector. If need be, I'll put you in the cleft of the rock. If need be. Luke 6 and 8. See, these different religions and things done got us handicapped. You're handicapped. You're sitting around here in a wheelchair and ain't nothing wrong with you. We spiritually in wheelchairs. Ain't nothing wrong with you. But Barney, get your butt up. Rolling around in a wheelchair for. Get up. Got a brace on your neck. What a brace on your? Ain't nothing wrong with your neck. Luke 6 and 8. Book it reads. Right. Wrong scripture. Anyway, we know that a wise man is going to build his house on the rock. When the waters come, when the flood come, when it's beating on the house vehemently, stay on the rock. The rock is a refuge, it's a protector, it is the foundation, it's what you need. I don't know why I got Luke 6 and 8 at. But stay on the rock. All right, let's turn to 2 Chronicles. We're going to close out in that. We're going to kind of skim through. I said skim. We ain't skimming nothing. We're going to skim through these chapters.
Do you think you might need 8 and 6?
Is that what it is? 8 and 6?
Yeah.
Okay. That just proof. I'm this. Go ahead and read. You got it? Somebody got it? 8 and 6? Go ahead and read it. Somebody got it?
And some fell upon a rock. And as soon as it was sprung up, it withered away because it liked moisture.
Oh,
But it
that's
was-
the parable of the sower.
So,
Uh-huh.
what about the wise man
Oh, that's.
building his house on the rock?
Okay.
Yes, I don't know. At 8 and 6, I don't know what that one. But y'all know the parable we're talking about.
7:24.
7:24.
Yes, sir.
I was in the
I mean,
vicinity.
but it's Matthew.
Go ahead and read.
Okay. Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them
Mm-hmm.
will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand.
Mm.
And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell, and great was its fall.
Mm. So it's wise for us to use our rock. To build off the rock, to stay behind the rock, to let the rock be our shield. The rock will provide salvation. The rock is our refuge. It is our defense. It's a strong tower.
Hallelujah.
We have to stay behind the rock. Now we're in 2 Chronicles, 14th chapter, being verse 1. So Abijah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. In his days, the land was quiet 10 years. And Asa did that which was good and right in the eyes of the Lord his God. For he took away the altars of the strange gods and the high places, and brake down the images and cut down the groves. So this king turned back to righteousness. Okay? And commanded Judah to seek the Lord God of their fathers and to do the law and the commandment. He also took away out of the city. So we see that how when there was an establishment of the law and the commandments and righteousness, that made a way for everybody to do it. But his daddy had another order: wickedness, chaos, mayhem. You know what people do? Wickedness, chaos, and mayhem. Verse 5, he also took away out of all the cities of Judah the high places. The images in the kingdom was quiet before him. He built fenced cities in Judah, for the land had rest. And he had no war in those years, because the Lord had given him rest. Yah will give you rest.
Yes.
Therefore he said unto Judah, let us build these cities and make them about them walls, towers, gates, bars, while the land is yet before us, because we have sought the Lord our God. We have sought us rest in their souls. So right 1,300, and so man has good and red pot. But he said, Lord, it is nothing with thee to help, whether with many or with them that have no power. Help us, O Lord our God, for we rest on thee, and in thy name we go against this multitude, O Lord. Thou art our God, let not man prevail against thee. So Yah fights, the rock goes in front of them, and the rock smashes, grinds in the powder. Okay, now we're going to scroll over to verse 15, because we see the mentality of Asa, believing in the rock. But once again, longevity in Mashiach can also bring complacency. Verse chapter 15. The Spirit of God came upon Azariah, the son of Oded, and he went out to meet Asa. And he said unto him, hear ye me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you, why ye be with him. The Lord is with you, why ye be with him. The Lord is with you, why. So if you want to fight 1,000, you want to fight 10,000, you want to fight 100,000, be with Yah, and Yah will be with you.
Amen.
And if you seek him, he will be found of you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake. It's real simple. That wasn't complicated. You want to fight off 100,000? Be with me, I'm with you. You look for me, you'll find me. But if you forsake me, I'm gonna forget you too. Now, for a long season Israel had been for a long season without a true God, and without teaching and a priest, without the law. But when they were in trouble, did they turn to the Lord God of Israel, and they sought him, he was found of them. And in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations were upon the inhabitants of the countries. And nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, and for God did vex them with all adversity. Be ye strong, therefore, let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. Now this is when, have Israel and Judah, they're not at peace right now. Then you have other nations, Syria and other nations, other kings, right? Almost kind of similar to now. So sometimes you ain't got nothing to do with your king or your president or your prime minister. If they against Yah, they against Yah. But what Yah is so good is that, hey, I will seek and search for those who look for me. I'll find them and I'll save them. Verse 8, and when Asa heard these words in the prophecy of Oded the prophet, he took courage and put away the abominable idols out of all the land of Judah and Benjamin, and and out of the cities, which he had taken from Mount Ephraim, and renewed the altar of the Lord that was before the porch of the Lord. So apparently over time, different idols, different statues, different things came in because they had peace, they had rest. So he got a word from the Lord, took them all down. He gathered all Judah, Benjamin, and the strangers with them from Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon, for they fell to him out of Israel in abundance when they saw the Lord his God was with them. So they gathered together in Jerusalem at the 3rd year, the 15th month in the reign of Asa. They offered up unto the Lord the same time spoil. They had brought 700 oxen, 7,000 sheep. They had entered into a covenant to seek the Lord God of their fathers with all their heart, with all their soul, that whoever would not seek the Lord of God of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, man or woman. So now we have the people returning back. Okay, he's been king for a long. People are returning back. They slipped up. A prophet came, gave them word. They got stuff straightened out. Okay. All right. So you can read 14 through 19 on your own. All right. Now we're in 16. Okay. In the 6th and 30th year of the reign of Asa, Baasha, king of Israel, came up against Judah and built Ramah to the intent that he might let none go out or come in. So now we have Israel trying to kick up dust against Judah. Then Asa, look what he did, brought out silver and gold out of the treasure of the house of the Lord and of the king's house, and sent to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, there's a league between me and thee, and there was between my father and thy father. Behold, well, wait a minute, wasn't your father crooked? I thought you did opposite what your daddy did. But now he's saying, hey, it was a league between our daddies. Behold, I have sent thee silver and gold. Go break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. We see that? So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto the king of Asa, sent captives in his armies against the cities of Israel. They smote Ijon, Dan, Abilam, and the store cities of Naphtali. It came to pass when Baasha heard it, he left off from building Ramah and let the work cease. Then Asa, king of Judah, took all and carried away all the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha was rebuilding, and he built therewith Geba and Mizpah. At that time, Hanai the seer came to Asa, king of Judah. You think he's going to say something good to him?
Not at all.
And said unto him, because thou hast relied on the king of Syria, and not relied on the Lord thy God. So in other words, he forgot the rock. And what did the book tell us? Don't forget the rock from which you were healed. Because Peter made it clear, you were alive to stone. This is a chip off the old block. But we got to remember. Therefore, if the host of the king of Syria escaped out of thine hand, we're not the Ethiopians. So this is what I'm saying. Yah will remind you. He said, were not the Ethiopians and all the Lubims a huge host with very many chariots and horsemen, yet because thou didst rely on the Lord, he delivered them into thy hand. Then we get verse 9. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. As in, I'm going to stay behind the rock. I will not waver. I will not change my mind. We talking about a king, a righteous king, changing his mind. I have a record. I have a history. It's in our journal. It's in our chronicles. The Ethiopians came up. Yah destroyed them. Now our own brethren Israel is kicking at our door. I didn't pay somebody else. I done formed another allegiance. We just made an allegiance with Yah. Why you gotta have another allegiance? You can't have more than one rock now. Can't be like the ancestors. They forgot their rock. They turned to, little gods and new gods their father had not known. They sacrificed to devils. Done foolishly. So let me ask you, if he said you done something foolishly, he ain't being wise, is he? You know what the parable say about the house being built on the rock? That's like a wise man. Therefore, from henceforth thou shalt have wars. Expect more storms to come. You get out from around that rock, expect more storms. Now, or for your own, read the rest of that. Chapter, and then in the chapter 17, his son Jehoshaphat. Go ahead and read that too, because Jehoshaphat has an interesting story too, so go ahead and read that too. Okay? So rest of them, those two chapters. And just know that we have to stand with our rock, period. We gotta stand with the rock. The rock is there for you. Okay? So Todah Rabbi Yah B'Shem Yahshua, we give all praise to Yah for the inspiration of the word, for the direction and the everything he's doing for us and using us and things. And we just give all praise to Yah. Our website is restoringthebranches.org, www.restoringthebranches.org, restoringthebranches@Gmail, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We have our prayer line on Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. and then 12 p.m. Wednesday night, we'll go at 8:30. We'll go roughly 8:30 or 8:32 or 3, somewhere in there. Bible study is YouTube Live. And I think we'll be on Ephesians 5 and 6, or Ephesians 5 and 6 this upcoming Wednesday, Yah willing. And thank everybody and give all praise to Yah. Just be in prayer for your neighbor. Remember, start altering your prayers. You know, pray for those who have not. Okay? And that being said, peace and shalom till next week.
Shalom, shalom.
Okay. All right. Quick announcements. Next Shabbat.